Mortal Kombat 2.
Mortal Kombat.
Now, I have to say, I am a fan of Mortal Kombat. I played the game in the 90s. I loved it. There were two games, Street Fighter, which was fun, cartoony, and goofy, and Mortal Kombat, the series, also fun but gory.
Yeah, blood splatter and dismemberments.
Yeah, I mean, look, more realistic too, because the characters in Mortal Kombat were real actors. Yeah. They photographed them on VHS tape, and then they cut out the figures. There's a whole documentary about Williams Midway and how they made the original Mortal Kombat movies. Ed Boon, by the way, Ed Boon is a quick cameo in this film. One of the creators of Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat, very different from Street Fighter. I really like both games in the 90s. Street Fighter, more goofy, cartoony. Mortal Kombat, more realistic and gory. Mortal Kombat movies have had a storied history. I like the original in the 90s, was kind of fun, almost had like a kind of like Star Wars trio like feel to it. The recent Mortal Kombat movie, which is why this is Mortal Kombat 2, I thought was terrible. It came out during the pandemic, I believe in 2021, and it came out on Max, HBO Max, at the same time as theaters, and I thought it was not great. Had some really good casting, but was not awesome. This movie more centers on Johnny Cage's character. I mean, I could go in. What I'm saying is, I am predisposed to like this because I love the game, but the movies have been a mixed bag. Alan, tell me your thoughts, and then I'll jump in with mine.
Okay. So I like watching the game. I like watching the game being played. I'm not very good at it. I'm not good at fighter games, but I mean, I've told the story before. The first time I ever saw Mortal Kombat in the arcade, I stood there for 2 hours just watching the game being played. Because it was just things I hadn't seen before. That being said, I think one of the problems with video game movies, especially like this, is that there's no lore really that you attach yourself to. And so someone's got to make it up. And I think that's my problem with this movie is this lore is really stupid. I do not like I don't care about the lore of this movie. There's a tournament. Khan wants to take over all the realms. You know, you got five losses, and then we run the place. It just seemed like the lore is there for plot convenience, just because you need something to justify the things you're doing. And that's kind of the way I felt about it. Having said that, I think this movie is more about the action sequences than it is about the lore. And to that I say, look, the Liu Kang, all the Liu Kang fights I loved. And everything else was like, okay, I've seen this before. And I just don't feel like this movie moves the needle in any way that makes me want to say, I need to see a Mortal Kombat 3, which clearly they set up in this one.
Yeah.
And so I'm bored and couldn't wait for it to be over. And I wasn't that excited about the fight sequences except for Liu Kang. And quite frankly, I've seen sequences like all of this before. So it really didn't elevate or evolve the process to me at all. So I do not recommend Mortal Kombat 2.
Right, Your thoughts? I am going to recommend it, but I'm going to acknowledge a couple things. One, it's super thin on story.
Mm-hmm.
There's barely a story. They set up the realms. They're fighting. We've got Earth realm, other realm, and we got it's like a video game. They've got like the 5 lights up here and keeping track of the wins and losses, and it's to the death, and characters do meet their end to the credit.
The male characters meet their end to the
Don't ruin it. Characters meet their end.
Like you couldn't predict that.
Lots of characters. But I'll say yes, thin on story, but I wasn't bored. It's nonstop fight after fight after fight, excuse for a fight. It does take a little while to get going, but doesn't overstay its welcome. The Johnny Cage stuff, I love. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage is so good. This kind of washed up actor, and they show him at like a Comic-Con in San Diego, and there's some announcer, make sure your social media influencers and YouTubers are signing their and cosplayers are signing their at their booths. And like Johnny Cage is sitting there and no one is at his booth. And he's selling like old VHS tapes and autographs. That stuff was hilarious, very self-deprecating. He has his comeuppance. Other characters like Jax, I really like. And Liu Kang, you're right. Liu Kang is a standout. So in the end, I'm like, this is really flawed. It's dumb. There's barely any story, but it's nonstop action beginning to end. I did like the bartender, Ed. You know, real fans will notice that at the bar. And I don't know, I had a good time with it. The audience, I will say this, it was helped quite a bit by the audience that I saw it with. The audience was into it. Packed audience at IMAX, and they loved it. I mean, they were all over it. So I'm going to give it a recommend, not a strong recommend. Look, if you forced me to give a number rating, it's a 6 out of 10 to me, but that's still a bare recommend. You're not recommending it.
No, I look, there are a couple things. One is it sure could have used a romance in it. That would have been really nice.
Right.
The other thing, I got to tell you the story. So the movie's over. I'm heading over to the restroom, and I'm doing my thing. And father walks in with his 2 kids. They must have been 6 and 7. And the father asks, "Who is your favorite character?" And the kid goes, "Johnny fucking Cage." and then the other one, I think he's 5. He tells his dad, "Dad, this is the best day of my life."
See, for that alone, you have to,
the father said, "But you said that last week." No, this one tops last week.
Look, there is swearing. I would not have taken a 6-year-old or 7-year-old to see it, but I'll say, and it is very gory. It does live up to the fatality.
I've seen worse, but yes, I've seen worse.
Yeah, seen worse, but for a movie like this, it lives up to it. So
I mean, just that 6-year-old Johnny fucking Cage.
It's a bare recommend, but a good one. There is no post-credit scene. I stayed till the very end, but there is a good button at the end of the movie. So stick around. So,
there's gonna be a third one.
Hey, one recommend, one not recommend. Make of that what you will.